So far in this class, we've spent time practicing critical thinking, analyzing sample arguments, reviewing the structure of an essay, and learning how to find and document sources. Now it's time to take all these skills and put them to use by writing your very first essay for this course, a critical analysis of a written argument. This will be very similar to the analyses that you did in week 2, but obviously longer and more formal than your discussion posts. The first thing you're going to want to do to prepare for this essay is to read the 2 assigned chapters for this week, which you should have already done before watching this video. If you haven't, go ahead and pause and do so. Chapter 3 is on critical reading and shows you what elements you need to be able to understand about arguments in order to write a complete analysis of them, such as the use of logos, pathos, and ethos, how to use reason through induction and deduction to determine the validity of an argument, and the different types of evidence that can be used to support an argument, like examples through real events, hypothetical scenarios, and analogies, authoritative testimonies, statistics, and non-rational appeals through the use of satire, irony, sarcasm, humor, and emotion. Chapter 5 practically gives you a step-by-step guide on how to write an analysis of an argument, showing you how it's important to include in your discussion the author's purpose, thesis, methods, and persona, and your own thesis that lets the reader know whether or not you found the argument to be sound. As stated in this chapter, support for your thesis will come through a careful unfolding of the author's methods. This chapter ends with an example analysis written by a student. Your essay should end up looking a lot like this one. And finally, be sure to take advantage of the checklist provided in the chapters as well. I'm sure you're all anxious to hear the requirements for this essay, so I'll get right to it. Your essay should be no less than 750 words. That's about the same length as the student example essay in the book, and will run about 2.5 to 3 pages long. Feel free to go over, but don't exceed 900 words. Essays that do not meet the minimum word count will not be accepted. I may consider sending your essay back and asking you to reach the minimum, or I may just give you a 0. If you were a journalist, for example, and your boss asks you to write a 750 to 900 word column for a newspaper, you wouldn't give him anything less or anything more, or you wouldn't get paid. The same idea can be applied here. Your essay should be in MLA format. Most of you have done a pretty good job of this so far, so I don't think that there's going to be any problems here. You should use a minimum of 3 sources to support your thesis. These sources should either come from the library or the online databases. If you must use a source from the internet, be sure to get it approved with me and follow the guidelines in your book for determining whether or not that source is reliable. All of your sources should be cited somewhere in your paper using proper MLA in-text citations and included in a properly formatted works cited page at the end of your essay. Using sources in each of your essays this semester is a mandatory requirement put into place by the state. Essays that do not meet this requirement will not be accepted. And now for the prompt. Find an opinion piece from either the New York Times, the Washington Post, or National Review. Links will be provided for you within the module. The article you choose must be an argument that is either for or against a topic, and it must be long enough for you to devote a 750-word analysis to. This article does not count as one of your sources, though you should include its bibliographic details in your works cited page for a total of 4 cited sources as your minimum. Using Chapter 5 as a guide, write an analysis of the opinion piece. You'll also want to incorporate all of the knowledge that you've learned in this class thus far. What makes a good argument, how to structure your paper, how to write a thesis, etc. Here's what you should not do. Don't focus your essay on summarizing the article. You won't like your grade if you do this. Though you may need to include a short summary, your essay should be focused on analyzing the argument. This means that your personal opinions on the subject should not be included. Your personal opinion on how well or how poorly the author argues his point is welcome so long as it's backed by reason. I don't think the argument was good is not good enough. Tell your reader why the argument was no good, including the methods explained in your book to support them. And finally, don't hesitate to ask questions, no matter how stupid you think they might be. I'm here to help you become a better writer. So email me, post your questions on the whatever board, reread chapters, rewatch videos, whatever you have to do. For now, that's all I have for you. I hope you'll be able to find an article with a topic that interests you. If you find an article outside of these sites that you are determined to use, be sure to get my approval first. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with.